I just wanted to show you guys just how fast the account can progress. You can see we've already got level 66 units, and kind of talk a bit about the patch changes and how can you progress now. Alright, bam. What's up guys? So there's a new patch. A lot of people are worried about how new players are going to progress now. I've done some testing, so let's talk about it, alright? As you can see here, this account, it says it's on day 3. That's because I started the account like just before rollover on the Europe servers. So it is actually about to tick over and then it'll actually be day 3. So like, well, I guess I don't know. Point is the account's only about like 2.5 days old, or like it's almost on day 3, I guess, like properly. I don't know, or day 2 is almost finished, all right? Um, Now, in terms of how to progress with a new account, I just want to show you guys something quickly. You can see the monthly login reward here. It's the final reward is now like a full nat 5, right? And while we don't get super shot elf shards anymore, we get I guess the 5,000 wish stones summons, which could net you some nat 5 shards. I haven't had much luck with wish stone summons yet, but I have heard some people have gotten some nat 5 shards from it, which is pretty nice. And we also get the heroic swap scroll instead, right? Can't actually remember if that was usually already there. I don't think it was. I think that was super shot elf shards, but yeah. As you guys can see, the skill stones are still there as well. Okay. Now, in terms of how a new player begins the game now, right after the patch, what they've done is you still get gems. All right. You can't summon your guaranteed net 5 anymore. So hang on, let's go to the summon screen first. All right. So because of this rework of the system for the summoning, you can't actually get your free nat 5 after 3 summons anymore. However, when you start the game, you do still get like 2,600 gems. So you can do like up to 3 800 gem summons, and then you'll have enough to do some other little summons on the side here if you want, right? So like just the regular summon. I recommend just doing the 8x summon times either 2 or 3. And while you're not guaranteed a nat 5 anymore after 3 summons, if you do if you do the 800 gem summons, if and you do pull a nat 5, you are guaranteed like 100 shards of that nat 5 when you pull it. All right. So, and yeah, as you can see, normal to legendary soul stones from wish stones. All right. So you get kind of dailies of that as well. I'm not going to go into like the full patch rundown here and like all the different ways and changes. This is just, we're going to talk about how can a new player progress in this particular video, okay, after the patch. Now, obviously, re-rolling is going to be super important if you're, like, if you really want to progress quickly, like if you're wanting to get right into it, I highly recommend re-rolling. And as in previous videos, I'm going to recommend re-roll for chain reaction if you can. And what else is also possible? These elemental tickets I actually quite like how the elemental tickets are. Like if you've got an elemental ticket, because you can now summon like very specifically for the element you're after, and you can still exchange things, and you get like 200 to 100 shards depending on if it's like a 4-star or a legendary. It is this helps quite a lot actually. But anyways, back to the progression. As you guys can see, with this particular account, the box, now I have re-rolled a few times to kind of get an idea on how the summons would go. This particular box wound up with Hex, Thunderbolt, and Whirlwind. All right. As you can see, I have actually within a very short amount of time, I have gotten them runed up quite well. You can see I have quite a lot of gold as well, thanks to the changes for the gold system. You can see I've been trying to farm a slot 6 rune. I have another attack rune here. I just need one more to finish it, right? So I'm using the usual progression that I recommend, right? At the moment, you can see I pulled Hex. We haven't actually done Master Eon really at all yet. However, once you do pull the units, because of the XP change, it is much easier to progress again. All right. Now, if I jump back into here quickly, I just wanted to show you guys, this is the unit box that this account had. I'm going to pull up the video. All right. So, I mean, sorry, not the video, the picture here. All right. So let me get out of this so it doesn't confuse us too much. I have a picture of 4 of the accounts that I rolled, and you see the unit box. Now, you can see that Babella is always there, and Stealth Elf is always there. Boomer isn't guaranteed, but Babella and Stealth Elf are always guaranteed. I didn't actually play it through enough to see if Enigma is still guaranteed, but I'm going to assume that he is. All right, I haven't unlocked part 2 of the quest changes yet. And I'm probably not going to with this account. I just wanted to play this account until hitting Whaling 8, just to test, right? Now, I just want to show you guys, as you can see, I have my Skylanders here for this particular account. Hex, Whirlwind, and Thunderbolt for this one. They are unawakened. Hex is 4-star. Whirlwind is still 2-star, unawakened, and Thunderbolt is 3-star unawakened. Almost with 7,000 HP. Whirlwind with almost 6,000 HP, and Hex with 7,000 HP. Their runes aren't quite finished yet, as you can see. Like Whirlwind is still rocking pretty low attack, but we'll fix that. And we don't actually need Whirlwind to be like completely decked out. Thunderbolt is currently rocking a crit rate rune. However, I am going to try for like 3 attack runes after I finish grabbing one more. I need one more 5-star attack rune. So here's the last attack rune that I just got for slot 6, and I need one more, and then I can go back to slot 2. And as you can see, it's taken a few 5-star runes for us to get those runes. But yeah, so I will follow up with this particular account soon. But I just wanted to show you guys, hey, this is kind of like what I've been talking about in previous videos. I have been leveling up Barbella and Stealth Elf in the support part. So by the time I got these 3 units to level 66, Barbella and Stealth Elf are level 60 almost, right? So we have a look. Okay, so they're level 59. They got a little ways to go before they hit 60, but they're almost there, right? Anyways, let me just jump back out of this. I just want to show you guys, these are the units I'm using for this particular account right now. And if we pop up our little thumbnail here, I want to talk a little bit about are these accounts here, right? So this is obviously, I've done 800 gem summon. With RNG, you can see I've got Crypt King in 2 of the unit boxes. We've got our Kaboom. So let in a couple of them as well. It might be easier if I talk about it this way. So let's look at box 1, top left corner, right? We've got Igniter, we've got Lightning Rod, we've got Crypt King, we've got Gusto, we've got Crusher, Zook, Whamshell, Kaboom, right? Now all these units, or even actually Roller Brawler and the little Gorilla Healer, right? Gorilla Driller. We could use all of these particular units, Stink Bomb as well, actually, and that would help us greatly for breaking into B state or Whaling 8, right? So essentially for this particular account, we could use Barbella, Stealth Elf, Stink Bomb for or Wallop. Yes, Wallop, Wallop Crusher, Stealth Elf, or Wallop Crusher, Stink Bomb, any kind of combination, right? Of life units, as long as we max their level to 70 and we equip them with those hard scenario 5-star runes, or even if we do farm a little bit of B7 or Whaling 7, if we really have to, I'm going to say that maxing their level to 70 and putting appropriate runes on them, you'll be able to clear them, all right? Beast is, like I have said in previous videos, a little bit more difficult. Whereas breaking into whaling, as proven in previous videos, not as difficult because of the mechanics. As long as you can deal with the mechanics, things tend to go a lot smoother for your runs, right? Which is where, say, like Crit King comes in handy, or even Kaboom there. You could say use like Crit King and Kaboom for whaling 8, because there's no hex there, right? And the ones that did start with Crit King, you can still push for doing Master Eon first, leveling the Master Eon units and getting your Hex shards from that if you want. All new accounts right now, as you can see, Barbella is in all of them. I think I just mentioned it before. They start with Barbella. So Barbella Stealth Elf, off the top of my head. In terms of like non-RNG progression, you could potentially break into Beast 8 using Barbella Stealth Elf and whatever other life unit you happen to roll with, right? Uh, you can see in the top right corner box, we actually have Aurora, right? And a Nat 5. We have a few choice units. Again, we've got like Stink Bomb. Again, we've got Crit King and Kaboom. However, we've also got Whirlwind. So like this start, Crit King Whirlwind, really strong for Whaling 8, right? Really strong for breaking into hard scenario 1. The bottom left account, we've got I'm actually trying to remember her proper name. But the roller skate undead chick, right? I think it's Roller Brawler. I can't remember properly, but she's actually like not that bad of a unit. We've also got Fiesta there, so you could essentially like you could use those two as well. We've also got Whirlwind, right? So Whirlwind, Fiesta, and I think it's Roller Brawler right there. Another potential Whaling 8 team, right? Even Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is actually quite a decent unit, right? If you don't have the damage to back things up, you may wind up knocking down the Whaling 8 boss even, right? Again, you've got Ninjini there, you've got Kaboom. So these are just your starting units, right? And of course, the bottom right account is this particular account that you're seeing in the background, right? And you can see that I've made really amazing progress towards Whaling 8 in a couple of days of the patch being dropped. Well, not even, like, it hasn't even really been a proper couple of days, right? But the progress has been there, and let me jump this into some farming, all right? And yeah, now in terms of like that's the early progression, right? Like there is a little bit more RNG. However, for early progress, I'm still gonna recommend re-rolling. Try and get chain reaction if you can, and then you can follow the chain reaction Whaling 8 path that I've talked about previously, right? If you can't do that, however, or you don't want to bother, that's not going to be a big problem because you do have Barbella, you do have Stealth Elf, and you're bound to start with another unit that's going to either pair well with them, or at the very least, they're going to pair well with Stealth Elf, or you're going to have units summoned that you can use for Whaling 8, right? So try to focus on elemental advantage, okay? If you want assistance, hit me up in the Discord, right? For your personal account, if any of you guys ever want like actual straight up, hey, I can't figure this out, can you give me a hand? Just hit me up on Discord or a comment below. Give me details, like enough details for your account so I can kind of get an idea of my mind, and I am more than happy to give you some direction, all right? Because things are gonna open up a bit more now that these changes have come in. Choosing which route you go is going to be pretty big, right? You can't really make like a set path for any one account now. However, in terms of what could potentially be a set path, like I just said before, you could farm B7 for a bit for some 6-star rings if you want. I would still try to just jump straight into Whaling 8 or Beast 8 if you can, alright? But yeah, max level those units, okay? If you're struggling and your units aren't max level and you don't have them on full 5-star runes, and you haven't like maxed those 5-star runes, try that first, alright? Thanks to the gold changes, I wouldn't worry too much about like. So for my Hex, all right, I'm going to talk about this. So for Hex, I'm going to leave her like HP, her defense, and her slot 4, right? So slot 3, 4, and 5. I'm just going to leave them at plus 12, okay, as an example. However, I am going to plus 15 her 5-star runes that have the attack stat on them. So slot 1, slot 2, and slot 6, right? Those ones are going to be max 15. So if you were to do that with your units, then you're not going to burn through too much gold. It's not something you really need to worry about as much, especially by the time you finish maxing these units levels to begin with, you're going to have heaps of gold, especially after the changes, being like an increase to golden scenario and an increase to XP in scenario. As you can see, I have like, what, 2 million gold on this account? I'd have to double check, but it was like definitely over like 1 million, all right? So you're not gonna be hurting for gold for upgrading runes. Now, yeah. If you're looking for stats, right? So if you're looking for the stats required to break into these dungeons, check through the previous videos. Okay. Like I said before, I will post the follow-up for this video. Whenever it does actually hit like break Welly 8, so maybe even like by the end of this evening I'll have another video up showcasing this particular account doing Welly 8. However, for now, let's just jump back into what do we do after the initial progress, right? So, okay, you hit Beast 8, you hit Wailing 8. How do you break into Beast 9? How do you break into Wailing 9? How do you break into Beast 10? How do you break into Wailing 10? A lot of people are worried about and, thinking they're going to struggle for this, right? It's kind of just going to be the same thing, right? If you summon a specific unit, and I'm saying I'm wishing you luck with your summons. Like, I don't think there's going to be many accounts that are going to wind up not having at least a few 4 stars, or you would have to be super unlucky to not at least summon 1 Nat 5. And don't forget, you are still going to get like 3 Nat 5 at some point during your quest progression. You're going to get Nat 4 shards from clearing Mirage Tower and other areas of the game, right? So you're pretty much guaranteed a Nat 5, you're pretty much guaranteed a Nat 4, depending on who you summon. Try and focus your progression towards who you've got elemental advantage for, alright? Now, in terms of like, how do you, you might be thinking, alright, well, how do I beat Beast 9? How do I beat Wailing 9? How do I beat Beast 10? And how do I beat Wailing 10? Once again, max their level, alright? Power them up as high as you can. I'm going to recommend awaken them first. If they've got a useful ability, awaken them first, like Kaboom. Leave him, if you don't have enough shards for Kaboom, alright? Just leave him as a 2-star, and save the shards, get him awakened first, because that AoE ability is very helpful, alright? Obviously, if you've got him like max level 72 star, rather than using like attack percentage runes, just like drop some flat attack on him instead. Just as an example, alright? So you could do this for pretty much any unit that you want to try and use, okay? Same thing for like Crit King. If Crit King's stuck at 3-star, throw some like flat attack, I guess. I don't think max level 70 Crit King at 3-star unawakened. I'd have to double check what his attack is, but I don't think it reaches the point where percentage is better than flat attack. So like flat attack would help a bit more there, but yeah, you've also got your talents to take into account, alright? However, the first thing you are going to want to do is, of course, build either a Beast 8 or Wailing 8 team if you can. Start working on those 6-star runes. Then you use those 6-star runes to optimize. Once again, if you can get your hands on some Fatal runes, you'll have plenty of crit rate, right? And you'll be able to go like attack. So slot 2, slot 6, Fatal runes, either like full Fatal or 2 sets of Fatal and 1 set of hit. That accuracy is actually like pretty useful in most cases. If you can get like 85 crit rate, right? Entry level, If you remember the solo boomer B9, we use about 85 crit rate. All right. If you can get that on your units with attack for on fatal runes and stuff, you're gonna be pretty set, right? You're gonna hit, like, you should hit at least 6k attack. If you're attack, you should hit at least 6k attack, even with a 2-star unit, right? And as long as you can supplement that 6k attack with enough crit rate, even on a base, like, let's say this unawakened 2-star whirlwind, it is going to be viable for you to progress, all right? Now, remember, for example, on the Igniter in the B10 video that I recently posted, we only used 4k. We used 4k attack. It was like 110 crit rate or 107 crit rate, and we had like 220 to 240 crit damage, right? Like, those are obtainable stats, right? And like, yes, that Igniter was 6-star awaken plus 5, but like, we can reach those stats. That was like a slot 2 crit rate Igniter. So if you can get yourself into Wailing 8, even just Wailing 7, right? And you can farm those fatal runes, guys, even on 5-star runes, like, you're going to be able to optimize those stats so much easier and so much better, all right? Even if you can't finish building the unit by collecting all the shards, you can still progress into Beast 10. You can still progress into Wailing. Just, like I said, max their level, trying, like, hard farm those runes. Now that you don't have to farm scenario, we won't be wasting extra gems by hard farming units, and you can use all those gems putting more time into runes. Maybe you find it boring, but hard scenario grinding could also be quite boring. All right. Let me move this little box away. If you're not a big fan of grinding, then gacha games might not be for you in the long run. Uh, but I do hope that you can don't try not to feel stuck. All right, there at no point should you be feeling stuck, because there is a way around it. Um, Now, like, in terms of how do you get shards now, right? You do still have EDs, and you can still do arena and do grab some omni gems from arena. Okay. Um, Obviously, like, rare omni gems are a lot cheaper than legendary omni gems. I would recommend, uh, like, if you need to, like, when you're starting out, just, like, don't focus on these legendary omni gems or the heroic omni gems if you don't want to. Just grab the rare ones. If you want to build up your 3-stars, grab the rare ones. They're going to be a lot cheaper in terms of arena points. They'll help you in the early game by being able to power up your units a bit more. And, then move on to the heroic omni gems, right? Maybe you summon a flare wolf, right? Remember, we used that 4-star unawakened flare wolf for B10. It hit pretty hard. It was doing like 12k damage on some pretty bad runes. It was, once again, it was like 4k attack, 110 crit rate. What was it, like 220 to 240 crit damage, right? We can use these units as long as we max their level, as long as we put the runes on them, okay? You've just got to get the runes, which is where rune farming comes into it. And because of this update, now we can just rune farm. We can prepare for arena. We can prepare for PvP. Like RTA, sorry. you know, Maybe you're not a big fan of that. But like, eventually you would have collected all those Skylanders anyway. Eventually you will finish collecting them all, even with the way the system is now. And yeah, I just want to try and get it out there that don't worry too much, alright? New players can still progress. They can still progress quite strongly, and because of the XP boost, they can progress quite quickly as well, alright? So, yeah, I guess I'll just leave it there for now. I'm honestly not sure what else to say when it comes to this particular thing, because a lot of it I've already said before. As you can see here, it is still possible to kind of transition into the other progress videos. If you re-roll, you can easily do the chain reaction Wailing 8, B9 Wailing 10, alright? If you don't feel like re-rolling, you've got Barbella, you've got Stealth Elf, and then whatever other units that you do wind up getting for your inbox, just max their level, and yeah, just optimize your rune quality. All right, optimize your runes. Farm runes hard, optimize them. All right, try and get that. Try and get that like 85 plus crit rate and at least 4k attack. All right, and you'll be pretty golden for most of the content below B10 and Wellington. And obviously, as we mentioned before, even B10, that's the igniter we used for it. That's what we had on the Flarewolf. We used something similar for the chain reaction for Wellington. And yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there for now. And yeah, good luck, guys. Hopefully this does help a little bit. I just want to show you guys just how fast the account can progress. You can see we've already got level 66 units, and kind of talk a bit about the patch changes and how can you progress now. All right. It is now a gacha game, but as a free-to-player, you can still do it, guys. So don't lose hope. Try not to feel blocked. And like I said, if you are feeling hard stuck or anything, just come and hit me up. Feel free to message me on Discord or whatever, and I'll help as best I can, alright? Anyways, I'll catch you guys later.